Okay, so just gonna go over some of the details in bold. This one is meant after you've had some initial training and assumes that you know how to put it on to system test for 48 hours and how to do monitoring active. That's basically the only thing I've done thus far. So to quickly go through, I'll go through it as it would do as an install, and then I'll break it down as to what's going on. But basically, you're going to want to click onto Systems, and you want to make sure that the main panel is up here in TELUS Qualsys. If not, you're going to have to add that. The bulk of the time, it's done for you, but just know that you're looking quickly when you're going through to make your live audit go smooth. That's what they're going to look for. Is they'll see system is in there, it's under System 1, event monitoring is there, TELUS Qualsys, great. After that, it's easy. How you would click through it is then you just click systems and you start clicking everything under it for the first 3 or 4 rows. So event monitoring, main panel, and then even your zones would fall in that way. So again, under systems, drop down, main panel here. And then we have our phone number, which again, assuming that you've gone through that, which would be before you move on to bold on your own and installing on your own, you'll definitely need to know how to put it on the system test, how to do event monitoring, and how to grab your phone number and put it in here. So now that that is there, that's great. This is again what the call center is looking for, this phone number here. You are then going to drop down to areas and zones. So how it will normally look, and I'll get rid of it, is you'll have it blank like this. Now, once you have your stuff set up on your panel and it's labeled correctly, so what the sensor is and where it is. So, example, you're going to have basement window 2, basement motion. Make sure that you just don't put motion, it has to be basement motion. Front door, back door. If it's a smoke detector, it'll need to say upstairs smoke or living room smoke. If it's a flood, it'll have to say basement flood. It can't just be smoke detector. It can't just be flood. Everything needs to have a location on it. So once that's done, you'll go into alarm.com. We'll get over here and we'll see if we go to our equipment. This is what I put into this panel. A front door, back door, garage door, and a family room motion just for a test. So these are in here, but they're not in bold, right? So the way to get them over to bold is to sync your zones. To do that, it's just down to monitoring settings, advanced settings, and start test. What that will do is grab what it does have in alarm.com. So it's going to be things from the contact list, the zones. It's verifying that it's on test mode and pushing these over to bold so then that we can work on them and not have to do them manually. This one's small with 4 zones, which you'll have up to sometimes with 20 plus zones on it. At least you don't have to type them all out. Just get them into your panel. Once you know that they're spelled correctly, everything is working on that, tested fine, then push them over and they'll populate into bold. If you change anything after, just come back in here and hit start test and then you'll send them over again. So that's all we really wanted in alarm.com. We'll go over here. You notice they're not here. It's because the screens you're on are not live. So just refresh and go back into it. And once that populates, now we have some zones. We have front door, back door, garage door, and family room motion, just as displayed on that. So that's great. We'll leave that alone for now and work our way down there. And again, how I find just easy to get into here, it's systems, and then start clicking right below. Right below, you get your phone number. Then right below that, you're now into your zones. Then we skip down. We got 2 things left on here, our contact list and our call list. Our contact list is the address book of the backend system of who they can call. So we do have a couple in here, homeowner, a customer, dealer, police, fire, and medical. So the bottom 4 we're never going to touch. That's in case of emergencies. But they're into the contact list, but we now need to tell them to actually call them. And that's where the call list comes in. Well, let's verify what the backend's going to look at on your live audit. So they want to see a name. They want to make the type has to be mobile. Even if it's not a mobile phone on it, like make sure it's mobile. That's the type they want it to be. Give them a phone number. They need to have at the very least the ability to cancel the alarm. If they don't have that ability, there's no point of them calling. So that at the least can put the system on test is another popular one. And the rest of them, it's kind of up to you what the customer wants on it. But again, these are normally preset. But at the very least, if you're creating it, make sure they can cancel the alarm. And then verify that there's a verbal password. So this one meets all the credentials. Mobile, phone number, cancel alarm, verbal password. We're cool with that contact. I didn't put this in here, but I need to verify it. And we'll go down to Mr. Walter. Mobile, contact number, can cancel alarm, verbal password. That's all we need. So down to the call list. The call list, it's important that if it's not created, we'll create it. Most of the time it should be there for us. But it needs to be CONT capitals and contact list, 2 words, capital C, capital L is what they're looking for. So just double check that it's in there correctly. And then we want to see the name with mobile next to it in brackets. Just because you see mobile on the last screen, make sure it's here. And I'm going to show you why. Because I'm going to trash this contact list and recreate it so you can see it. So now you would be into the contact list, and then we still have our guys, but when we go to call list, there's nothing here. So we have a phone book, but we didn't set up our speed dials for it. So we're going to set up a main list. Again, it has to be CONT, contact list, capital C, space, capital L. Then we're going to click our homeowners. So if you did this way, we click Tracy. Oops, sorry. We'll check Tracy over, and we'll click the plus on Walter, and do it here. We'll hit save on it. And you're good. You're like, okay, I'm fine, I'll move on. If you call into this one, they are going to tell you that your list is wrong and it needs to be set up properly. And the problem here is even though they're the only one in the list, we don't see mobile in brackets here. So what you need to do, or trash this one, get out of there. And what you need to do is then click into this section, make it populate in the middle, and then click plus on mobile. If you just hit the plus from here, it doesn't actually give them the information they want. So notice there's no mobile in brackets here. We'll close that. We'll click here, our name or anything, which will populate in the middle. Then we see this mobile, and then we'll click the plus sign on it. Now when we hit done, we have contact list, CONT, contact list, 2 words, capital C, capital L, 2 of our customers with mobile in brackets. And we know because it came from our contact list that it has the passphrase in there. So we'll save that and be happy with it. Now you would run through that your zones are synced. You're going to go to your panel and you're going to arm it and test all of your zones. So assuming that you've done that, you then would come back into Bold, working our way down. So again, we finished that call list. Now we go down to activity log. This one we know we had 4 zones, I believe. In the verify, just go back to here. So zone 1, 2, 3, 4. We've tested all of them. I've set up the alarm, and now I want to make sure Bold has seen it. So to do that, you'd hit Z for zone, colon, space 1. This shows us that we had a front door alarm set off. Perfect. And make sure you see the front door like in gray. Don't just go zone 1 and then it's like, hey, this is cool. Because all you're doing is searching text in this big field here, right? So Z colon 1, or Z colon, sorry, space 1 narrows that down. But it also has the ones up here which we're not looking for, right? So we're looking for burglar alarm, front door, I don't know, I think maybe section 1, area 1, zone 1, right? But what you're going to focus on is something that has a name here. So burglar alarm, front door in gray. Zone 2, burglar alarm, back door. Zone 3 in gray. Burglar alarm, garage door. Zone 4, burglar alarm, family room motion. That's our 4 zones. If we go to 5, it's not there, right? At that point, call in your live audit. So long as your cameras are below 70 dB, you should be good to go. So to recap on this, start from the top. Systems. Make sure we have a main panel, TELUS Qualsys. Great. Move down. Event monitoring, main panel, and then we get into our TXID, which is one right below main panel. Put in your phone number, right? Move down, areas and zones. Hit sync on the back end. Get them over here. Great. Move down, right? And sync again is going over to here. Monitoring settings. Advanced settings. And start, if it loads. All right, advanced settings. And then start. That will push it into bold, so that's great. Then you just keep on tracking along. So areas and zones are good. We see that there's 4 there. Moving down, don't need access control, don't need GPS, don't need other, don't need tracking, don't need monitoring service, and we need our 2 contacts. So go into contact list. Make sure there's names in here, at least one. And when you click on it here, we want to have mobile as the type, a phone number, can cancel alarm, and a verbal password. You need that for each contact that's in there. Ding, 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 ding. If it's not there, either edit it or get rid of that one. They don't want to use this information that's not valid in there. Then you go down the call list, sorry. Make sure the list is called CONT, all capitals. Then contact list, capital C, capital L, 2 words. Then make sure that your contacts are in there with mobile in brackets. Again, how to do that is when you click selecting names from here, do not just click the name and hit the plus. Make sure that you click the name in here and then get it in the middle, and that you're clicking on mobile to add that in. So again, it needs to have the mobile in brackets here to be good. Going down from there, your next one is activity log. Activity log is only going to work after you've set the alarm to arm and then test all of your zones. To do that, once that's done, Z:, space, and your zone. So 1, 2, looking for something in gray, 3, 4, 5, right? This one had 4 zones, so perfect. You're done. Check your cameras, make sure they're at 70 dB, and go from there. To check your cameras, then if we wanted to go into, this customer doesn't have one, but I'll go back into one of our other customers here. You're going to go into equipment, video, scroll down. We're going to wireless status and history. Going to give us some stuff in here. Looks like this one would probably fail it based off of previous thresholds. And normally in here, it's going to give you some more information. This could be a camera offline here. No, it did load up. Signal strength 10. Not hot on here. He would actually fail at 74 dB. So we'd want to go make sure that we either install a boost if that's what needs to be there, or even power cycle the camera. Sometimes it will lock onto the 5G instead of the 2.4 and it doesn't repick itself. So you can do that and then check your camera before you call in. Make sure you get this into the 70 dB range or lower. Again, negative numbers, so 75 no good, but 65 would be good. Get that